Good morning, students. Now we'll continue our civics lesson 1 Indian Constitution. I hope you understood my previous class. Just try to answer this question. Who was the president of Constituent Assembly? Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. Who is the father of Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. What is universal adult franchise? The right to vote at the age of 18 is called as universal adult franchise. What are the principles of preamble of the Constitution? Preamble describes India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic country. Now we'll move into the next concept. First one, citizenship. The word citizen is derived from the Latin term civis. It means resident of a city-state. The Constitution of India provides for a single and uniform citizenship for the whole of India. Articles 5 to 11 under Part 2 of the Constitution deals with the citizenship. The Citizenship Act of 1955 provides for acquisition and loss of citizenship. The Citizenship Act of 1955. The Citizenship Act prescribes 5 ways of acquiring citizenship. There are 5 ways. First one, by birth. All persons born in India on or after January 26, 1950 are treated as citizens by birth. Second one, by descent. A person born outside India, if his father is a citizen of India at the time of his birth, shall be a citizen of India by descent. Third one, by registration. A person can acquire citizenship of India by registration with appropriate authority. Fourth one, by naturalization. A foreigner can acquire Indian citizenship on application for naturalization of the Government of India. The last one, the incorporation of territory. In the event of a certain territory being added to the territory of India, the Government of India shall specify the persons of that territory who shall be the citizen of India. These are the 5 ways in which we can acquire citizenship. The next one, loss of citizenship. The Citizenship Act of 1955 prescribes 3 ways of losing citizenship under the Constitution, that are renunciation, termination and deprivation. First one, citizenship can be voluntarily renounced by a citizen. Renounced means rejecting. Second one, it can be terminated, that is, it can be stopped if a person acquires the citizenship of some other country, because in India we are following single citizenship. If citizenship acquired by fraud, or that is by cheating or false representation, the central government can deprive the citizenship. So these are the 3 ways in which we can lose our citizenship under the Act of 1955. Next we'll move on into fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are enshrined in Part 3 of the Constitution from Article 12 to 35. There are only 6 fundamental rights guaranteed by our Constitution. The fundamental rights are described as Magna Carta of India. Magna Carta, it is the Charter of Rights issued by King John of England in 1215. This is the first written document relating to the first fundamental rights of citizens, which was from England. Same way we introduced in India, so we are calling our fundamental rights as Magna Carta of India. Totally we have 6 fundamental rights. First one, right to equality under Article 14, equality before law. Article 15, prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Next, Article 16, equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Article 17, abolition of untouchability. So here untouchability means treating individual properly. Then Article 18, abolition of titles except military and academic. Then second one, right to freedom. Article 19, freedom of speech and expression, assembly, association, movement, residence and profession. That is, the citizen have the right to form associations, movement, and they can perform any profession. Article 20 describes protection in respect of conviction for offences. Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. Article 21A, right to elementary education. Elementary education, that is up to 8th standard. Article 22, protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Then third one, right against exploitation. Article 23, prohibition of traffic in human beings. So here traffic means selling of human beings and forced labor that is child labor. Then Article 24, prohibition of employment of children in factories. Then fourth one, right to religion, that is Article 25 describes freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion, that is right to follow any religion as we like. Article 26, freedom to manage religious affairs. 27, freedom from payment of taxes for promotion of any religion, that is we are paying some taxes towards our religious purpose. Article 28, freedom from attending religious instruction or worship in certain educational institutions. Then fifth one, cultural and educational rights. Article 29, protection of language, script and culture of minorities. So language, you know it, script means writing. Then culture of minorities, here I want to tell minorities. Who were minorities? Christians, Islamic people are considered as minorities in India. Article 30, right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. The sixth one, right to constitutional remedies. Article 32, it allows individuals to seek redressal for the violation of their fundamental rights. So redressal means we can seek the law courts. So under Article 32, right to constitutional remedies. So far we talk about the 6 fundamental rights guaranteed by our Constitution. If you are unable to see this properly, I have sent you the picture along with this video, and this will be our second detailed question. So you can see there properly. Next we will move into right to constitutional remedies under Article 32. Under that, a writ is an order, command issued by a court in writing under its seal. Both Supreme Court and High Courts are empowered to issue 5 kind of writs. Totally we have 5 kind of writs. Supreme Court is called as the guardian of the Constitution. According to B.R. Ambedkar, Article 32 is the heart and soul of the Constitution, because this article allows individual to seek remedy for the violation of their fundamental rights. The 5 writs are: first one, habeas corpus, safeguards people from illegal arrest. It is issued to produce a person before a court who has been detained in private custody of police. That is, not to punish the wrongdoer, but merely to release the person unlawfully detained. That is habeas corpus. Second one, mandamus. It protects the petitioner who requires legal help to get his work done by respective public authorities. Third one, prohibition. It prohibits a subordinate court from acting beyond its jurisdiction. That is, Supreme Court and High Court can cancel or to stop the orders issued by the subordinate court. That is, either district court or local courts by giving stay orders. Then fourth one, certiorari. It quashes an order issued by a subordinate court by overstepping its jurisdiction. Quashes means the Supreme Court and High Court can cancel beyond its jurisdiction. That is, jurisdiction, the limit of an area. So in a place we have a jurisdiction for a police station, district administration and postal distribution. That's the meaning of jurisdiction. If it is beyond the jurisdiction, the Supreme Court and High Court can cancel that particular order. The last one, quo warranto. It prevents usurpation of public office through illegal manner. That is, the writ is issued to restrain a person from holding a public office illegally. So these are the 5 types of writs issued by both High Court and Supreme Courts of our country. Then last one, suspension of fundamental rights. So in the beginning we talk about 6 types of fundamental rights provided by our constitution. When the president makes a proclamation of emergency under Article 352, the freedoms guaranteed under Article 19 are automatically suspended. That is, right to freedom was suspended when the country is under an emergency. So we talk about the fundamental right. That is one important question. So go through that properly. Thank you.